Devil Worship. The Sacred Books and Traditions of the Yezidis by Isya Joseph. Sacraments, Religious Observations, and the Sacerdotal System. Sacraments. Circumcision, to take off the natural man. Don't recommend either male or female circumcision, but the Eucharist and baptisms are the three religious rites administered by the followers of Yezid. The first rite is optional, but with baptism, the case is different. It is a matter of obligation when a child is born near enough to the tomb of Sheikh Adi to be taken there without great inconvenience or danger. It should be baptized as early as possible after birth. The Qawwals, in their periodical visitations, take a bottle or skin filled with holy water to baptize those children who could not be brought to the shrine. The mode of baptism is as follows. A sheikh carries the baby into the water, takes off his clothes, and immerses him 3 times. The taking off the clothes thing doesn't quite work so well when you get older for baptism. After the second time, put his hand on the child's head. He mutters, Hol Hola, Sultani Azid, Tu Buia, Berki Azid, Saraka Rea Azid. Ho hail, Yazid is a sultan. Thou hast become a lamb of Yazid. Thou mayest be a martyr for the religion of Yazid. The parents are not admitted into the dome shack of the spring. They remain outside. The sheikh is paid for his services by the father of the child. If the baby be a male, the gift must be more valuable than if a female. Within 20 days from the time of baptism, a male child is circumcised. In the Jewish tradition, it's the 8th day. And when 7 days old, it says Jesus was circumcised according to the Jewish tradition at that point too. To perform the rite, 2 sheikhs are employed. One holds the child in his lap, the other performs the operation. Before starting, he asks the child to say, As Berki Azede Zarum, I am the lamb of the illuminating Yezid. I can't help but think of the Emperor tarot card. And the hermit, for that matter. If he be too small to repeat, the sheikh who holds him repeats the sentence for him. All this is done in the presence of the parents, the relatives, and the friends, amid rejoicing with the sound of the flute and the tambourine. When the ceremony is ended, the father of the child entertains all those present for 7 successive days, during which period they dance, sing, and eat the food sent to them by the friends and neighbors of the circumcised child. When this comes to an end, 2 sheikhs are present with gifts. Then everyone returns home. The reason why they observe the 2 rites, they say, is that if one does not work, the other may, and neither is harmful. Perhaps the music is drowning out the cries of the child, and hundreds of baby boys die in American circumcisions every year. Some countries, there's higher deaths associated with circumcision. The Islamic tradition, for example, says that the less you cut, the more God will reward, because the spouses will enjoy each other more. And let's not pretend that circumcision and subincision and root castration whichever terms you may know these things by, are not different things. You're more prone to disease if you've been circumcised, whether you're talking about the foreskin or the clitoral hood, whatever the case. Anyways, as to the Eucharist, its observance is local, usually administered by the Yezidis of a place called Kalatiya, a dependency of Diyarbakir. It is observed in the following manner. They sit around a table, the chief among them, holding a cup of wine, asks in Kurdish, Ava Chia, what is this? Then he himself answers, Ava Kasi Isya, this is the cup of Jesus. He continues, Ava Isa Nath Ronashitya, Ava Isa Nath Runishtia. Okay. Jesus is sitting and present in it. Having first partaken himself, he passes the cup around. The last person drinks all that is left in the cup. There is another sacrament among the Yezidis. I refer to the rite of repentance. When a person quarrels, the guilty one, covering his face with his hands, betakes himself to the most venerable sheikh to confess his sin, the latter giving the penitent instructions, enjoins him to kiss the hands of his enemy and those of the members of the priesthood. This having been done, if still no reconciliation is effected, the offending person, whoever he may be, must undergo again the same exercises when peace is established. The penitent one slaughters a sheep and offers wine to the reconciled one and the clerical body. This rite of repentance, however, is not obligatory. Some other religious practices. Fasting is one of the religious observances. It is kept for 3 successive days in the month of December, when they profess to commemorate the death of Yezid. Some observe also the 40 days fast in the spring of the year, when the Eastern Christians celebrate the memory of Christ's abstinence from food at the time of his temptation in the wilderness. One person in a family may fast for the rest. During this period, fasters abstain from animal food. The chief sheikh fasts rigidly 1 month in the year, eating only once in 24 hours, and immediately after sunset. Prayer is not considered a religious duty. They never pray. They do not even have a form of prayer, and acknowledge that they do not pray. It is said that when Sheikh Adi came from Mecca, he told his followers in one of his sermons, God commanded me to tell you that there is no need of prayer. Believe in the power of Malik Ta'us, and ye shall be saved. They have, however, what is called morning recital, which the devout among them mutters in Kurdish as he rises up from his bed. It is as follows. Chandil manhati sobayakarash halati hatna mezarmen dujaladi maskino rababeda shade shadadina mine aik ala malik shaysin Habib Allah Maklub Al-Mergi Salah Maklub wa Mergi Al-Jems Salah Al-Bani Maya Al-Jem Siyah Wal-Jot Kobaya Kwashamsi Taris Wal Fakradin Waseiko Pirkawata Daira Sorhan Pauteka Daira Chankuli Wa Kabri Zaman Wa Ahro Duni Amin. How often 2 executioners came upon me, as the morning sun rose. O poor man, stand up and bear witness, witness for my religion. God is one, the angel, Sheikh Adi, and upon his congregation, upon the great shack, and the shack of Sheikh Taurus, and Fakr ad-Din, and to every sheikh and peer, and the power of Dar Zor, and Dar Chankali, and the grave of time, and the last day. So, two Christian monasteries is supposed to be what they say with the sacerdotal orders. The hierarchical orders of the Yezidi sect are four. The head sheikh is the patriarch of the sect. He directs all the religious affairs of the community and leads them in their rites. He is also the principal interpreter of their religion, the chief spiritual judge, a sacred person, whose heart is regarded as a sanctuary, only second in importance to Sheikh Adi's temple, and whose will must be obeyed. His powerful weapon is excommunication. He presides over a tribunal composed of ecclesiastical superiors, which has jurisdiction in religious offenses, and questions relating to marriage, and in disputes between the clergy. His charge is hereditary, in direct succession. But if his eldest son be considered unworthy, he may appoint another to succeed him. He is said to descend from Sheikh Adi and is believed to be endowed with supernatural power for healing diseases and for blessing cattle and crops. Twice a year he visits the neighboring villages to collect contributions and sends qawwals to far distant districts for the same purpose. Occasionally he takes part in celebrating the marriage of persons of distinction in his community. He is also at times solicited to preside over funeral rites, which are generally conducted by the qawwals and sheikhs. The chief sheikh wears a black turban and white garments. Besides the head sheikh, the Yezidis have many other sheikhs. Each has a parish to look after. Twice a year he visits his parishioners to receive their free will offerings. If a member of a congregation does not satisfy his sheikh, he is anathemized by his spiritual leader, and no one will speak to him or eat with him. Every one of these sheikhs is supposed to possess a special power. Such is the power to drive away scorpions by praying over water and sprinkling the corners of the house. They have one called Sheikh Dekli, that is, the sheikh of the cocks, the peacocks, or perhaps all the cocks, like roosters and stuff too. His office is to go from village to village to collect chickens. Okay, that answers it. Several of these sheikhs always reside at Sheikh Adi's. The next in dignity are peers, from the Persian meaning old man. They wear red turbans and black garments. Then come the qawwals, from the Arabic meaning one who speaks fluently, an orator. And lastly, the fakirs, from the Arabic poor. They are the lowest order in the Yezidi priesthood, from the different offices of the last three orders. The clergy of all ranks enjoy particular respect. Their persons and homes are held inviolate. They take precedence at public gatherings, and the sheikhs and peers possess the much dreaded power of excommunication. Besides the above, the Yezidis have a temporal chief, who is called Emir. His dignity is also hereditary and confined to one family. He is believed to be a descendant of Yazid. He exercises a secondary authority over the Yezidis. He is a mediator between his sect and the Turkish government. He has the power to cut off any refractory member from the community. He has a charge of 50 qawwals who try to collect for him at their annual visits to each Yazidi district a certain amount of money. The money received by them is divided into two equal parts, one of which goes to the support of the tomb of Sheikh Adi, and the second part is divided, one half being for the Emir, the other half being shared equally by the qawwals. The name of the present Emir is Ali. He resides at Ba'adri, and, well, that was over 100 years ago, so, Hola is an interjection or exclamation representing sudden emotion, excitement, or feeling. Oh, alas, hurrah, hark in English. Okay. And let's remember that, this is sort of a Sufi/Christian monastery version of, well, lay mendicant sort of that not monastery, lay mendicant sort of version, well, monasteries too, of Satanism is a variety of beliefs and practices. And the concentration of the Satanism in a particular person or group, that varies too, obviously.